The tension at McLaren has reached a boiling point. What began as quiet frustration behind closed doors has erupted into a crisis that could reshape not just the 2025 Formula One championship, but the future of the team itself. Oscar Piastri, the young Australian sensation leading the championship by 22 points, now faces a storm that goes beyond his performance on the track. His manager, Webbe, a seasoned strategist who knows the cost of being overlooked, has made it clear, Piastri's patience has limits, and so does McLaren's ability to manage this internal rivalry. The Singapore Grand Prix didn't create this tension, it revealed it. When Piastri and Lando Norris collided at Turn 1, the radio messages that followed left no doubt about the frustration simmering under McLaren's surface. It was not just a clash of cars, but a clash of expectations, loyalties, and ambitions. Piastri's pointed words over the radio weren't team-like, but they spoke volumes. For months, inconsistent team management has fueled the fire. The so-called papaya rules, designed to ensure fairness between teammates, have failed spectacularly. And now, McLaren stands at a crossroads. As Formula One heads to the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas, the pressure is more intense than ever. The USGP isn't just another race, it's a sprint weekend, a four-session gauntlet that tests not only speed but strategy, patience, and nerves. On Friday, sprint qualifying. Saturday morning, the sprint race. Saturday afternoon, the main qualifying session. And Sunday, the Grand Prix itself. For chances for glory, or disaster. For Piastri and Norris, each session is a high-stakes duel. Each corner is a battlefield. And for McLaren, every decision carries consequences that could define the championship. Sources close to McLaren reveal that Webbe is actively exploring options for Piastri's future beyond the team. Ferrari in 2027 is a possibility, but whispers of Red Bull and Aston Martin have emerged as potential destinations. This isn't a bluff. Webbe has a history of bold moves, and he will protect his drivers' interests at all costs. The implications are enormous. McLaren cannot afford to lose the championship leader, yet they cannot afford to alienate Norris, a British favourite whose popularity is vital to the team's image. The balance between sporting fairness and political reality has never been more precarious. The Singapore incident was a tipping point. The papaya rules were abandoned. The team decided to let the drivers race freely, without intervention. A bold decision, but one fraught with risk. The circuit of the Americas is unforgiving. Long straights lead into heavy braking zones, precision-demanding corners, and overtaking opportunities that can ignite disaster. Add a sprint weekend's shorter format and heightened aggression, and the perfect storm for conflict emerges. Consider the numbers. 6 races remain, with 199 points still up for grabs. 3 of these, Austin, Mexico, and Brazil, are sprint weekends, offering extra points and additional opportunities for the championship to swing. If Piastri and Norris battle each other ruthlessly, every point they exchange could inadvertently hand advantage to their rivals. Max Verstappen, sitting third in the standings, watches from a distance. 63 points behind Piastri, he has the consistency and team strength to capitalize if McLaren's internal battle escalates. The irony is palpable. McLaren's internal strife could gift the championship to their biggest rival. Webbe's personal history intensifies the stakes. Years at Red Bull left him sensitive to any sign that a driver under his wing might be treated as secondary. He witnessed firsthand what it means to have ambition ignored, even while delivering victories. Now, he ensures that Piastri will never face that same fate. Public backing, strategic priority, and guarantees for the future, these are non-negotiable demands. McLaren faces 4 options. They could back Piastri fully, mathematically justified, but politically sensitive. They could continue trying to placate both drivers, a strategy that has clearly failed. They could favor Norris, a British favourite, and risk alienating the championship leader. Or they could adopt a race-freely approach, hoping neither driver destroys the other. or the team's title hopes. Austin presents a unique challenge. Sprint races demand instant aggression. Decisions must be made in split seconds. If Piastri and Norris are first and second in the sprint race, should the team intervene or allow the fight? Tire strategy, pit stops, and in-lap timing all become weapons in a psychological and tactical war. Every move will be scrutinized. Fans, media, and rival teams are watching. Every incident, every collision, will be analyzed frame by frame. One wrong call could cost McLaren the championship, or their star driver. Meanwhile, the psychological stakes are immense. Piastri carries the confidence of the championship lead but feels the weight of expectation. Norris, desperate to close a 22-point gap, may take risks that endanger both drivers. The USGP sprint weekend, followed by Mexico and Brazil, represents a concentrated pressure cooker. Success here could define the championship, failure could shatter it. Webber's influence looms large behind the scenes. His conversations with other teams, his strategic maneuvering, and his unwavering protection of Piastri place McLaren in a position where decisive action is no longer optional, it is survival. Webber's history with Red Bull offers context. He knows what it feels like to be overlooked, to fight for recognition, to demand fairness in a team environment dominated by politics and favoritism. That experience now drives his approach to McLaren, and it amplifies the pressure on team management. The question for McLaren is simple but terrifying: can they manage two top-tier drivers in direct conflict, during a championship-defining sprint weekend, without losing control of the situation, or worse, losing their championship lead? The stakes extend beyond the track. Team harmony, media narrative, future contracts, and the perception of fairness are all hanging in the balance. Austin could mark a turning point in this saga. It could define not only the 2025 championship but also the long-term future of McLaren's most promising driver. For Piastri and Norris, it's not just about speed, it's about pride, strategy, and survival. For McLaren, it's a test of leadership, foresight, and nerve. One wrong move, one miscalculated strategy, and the consequences could echo long after the checkered flag falls. With the championship hanging by a thread and sprint weekends magnifying every risk, Austin is more than a race, it is a crucible. Every lap is a story, every maneuver a statement. McLaren's decisions over the next 3 sprint weekends, Austin, Mexico, Brazil, could determine who lifts the 2025 trophy and whether they retain the driver who might define their future. Will McLaren back Piastri fully, finally recognizing his championship lead? Or will internal conflict spiral out of control, leaving the door open for rivals like Verstappen to claim the crown? One thing is certain, the eyes of the world are watching, the pressure has never been higher, and the next few races will be remembered for years as a defining chapter in Formula One history. For McLaren, for Piastri, and for Norris, the countdown has begun. Decisions will be made, risks taken, and every second on track will echo through the championship. In Formula One, speed is important, but in situations like this, strategy, courage, and resolve are everything. The 2025 championship is far from decided, and the saga at McLaren is just beginning.